Hey, welcome to day 34 of my spiritual journal with me, with your soul sister, Iona, host of the Soul Legacy TV YouTube podcast and founder of the SoulLegacyAcademy.com and producer of the Spiritual Biz YouTubers Network. So welcome to this spiritual journal and this spiritual routines for light workers. I go live every single day on YouTube to share intentional living tips and what I actually do for my spiritual routine. So hopefully this will help you in your light work and your lifestyle balance, because we don't want to be busy, we don't want to be broke, and we don't want to be burnt out. So I have my journal. Grab a notebook, and or if you have a Soul Legacy journal, this is called the Soul Legacy Journal, 365 days of your spiritual awakening story. And that's what we're going to be talking about, how to document your spiritual awakening story so that you can use it and see the purpose of it, see all of the good stuff that is rooted in a spiritual awakening. And I say it's a co-creative soul path to spiritual alchemy for light workers. So today on the Soul Legacy TV, in this episode, I will be sharing about spiritual freedom. It's a Spiritual Freedom Saturday in my world. So at the end of today, I will pull a card from, oh my gosh. Oh, I've got two cards. I just thought, no, I didn't. I usually put the cards inside the book, and I haven't today because I got two cards today. So I'm quite excited about that. So I'll pull the two cards today. Oh, gosh, wait a minute. I was so excited, but I've got two cards at the end. All right. So I will pull those. I don't know the numbers of them because I didn't put them in as a bookmark. So anyway, let me know what you do for your spiritual journal, your spiritual routine. So like I say, every single day I've been sharing what I use for my spiritual routines to balance my light work and my lifestyle. And to build my Spiritual Biz YouTube channel, to build my online teaching platform, to have my #1 Spiritual Awakening Annual YouTube Summit, which is due to launch in October through to April with 42 episodes, sharing fellow YouTubers, spiritual coaches, leaders, gurus, and soul-guided influencers on YouTube today, also sharing their spiritual awakening story, which is really exciting. I also have a co-author book series. If you have a spiritual awakening story and you are a light worker who wants to build your business on YouTube and get support to build your online teaching platform as well, then I will share in the links down below, in the description and in the comments, my masterclass. It's called Spiritual Biz YouTubers Masterclass. Thank you to Game for today. So that in there, I share about building your author and your authority platform, I say, on the media, and sharing, going out there and getting featured, sharing your spiritual awakening, sharing articles, writing your own book, just building out the media as a light worker. I believe that we're needed even more so. So spiritual freedom is connected to all of the areas that I talk about on the Soul Legacy TV. So if you are new to me, every single day I talk about a different topic that I love, that I divided my life into, just to give deep clarity and focus. So if you're watching this in SoulLegacyAcademy.com, then I do have a 2-hour monthly coaching call on this. This is a bonus for my Bootcampers, but it is $77 a month to get some coaching on every single area of your life so you can create that lifestyle and light work balance. I call them the 7 freedoms frequency calls. So today again is spiritual freedom, and what better, I love that I'm aware that I've gone through a spiritual awakening, because with the Soul Legacy Academy and the Soul Legacy TV, I say everything has soul in it, but if you don't go through that spiritual awakening, then you're not really aware that you are a soul having a human experience. And so if you are aware of that, 444, if you are just soul 444 on the timer, then it's a big hairy deal. And I have 444 on in my journal. I don't know if you can see that. That's spiritual, the signs, the synchronicities, all of those things. This project was built on the 444, as I say. Do you have angel numbers and signs and synchronicities that you screenshot, or you know, or you celebrate? Part of when I was first going on my spiritual awakening journey, I didn't know at the time, but I just kept seeing 1111, and a lot of people see 1111. The number one spiritual awakening annual YouTube summit is free on the Soul Legacy TV, but we do have a spiritual alchemy giveaway, and that's 1111. Just got ringing in my ears, just those signs and just the confirmations. I'm someone that tends to get a lot of confirmations spiritually. So through this journal, the spiritual journal, I talk about vision, I talk about your values, and I talk about your vibration, raising your vibrational frequency, right? And I have a money voucher that I want to give to you. I forgot to give it yesterday, but if you know me and you know the Soul Legacy Journal, then it will make sense. And if not, I'll share it with you today. I'm going to talk about being in alignment with your values. I think it's the biggest gift that you can give to yourself, because when you are in alignment with your values, the universe tends to fill people in, and things in that are in alignment with your values, or it does for me. Or if it brings me something that is in contrast to that, it just is fueling more rockets of desire. I talk about soul funk and soul flow, and relating to spirituality. It's that energy. We are energy, right? And when we feel kind of gunky in our energy, it's kind of like emitting the vibration that you don't really want to emit, and then you kind of wonder why you're being pushed and pulled on a daily basis. So I like to be in soul flow as much as possible. I express gratitude on a daily basis. I'll talk about that. I talk about each area of my life, and I say gratitude. Let me know if you say gratitude. I say gratitude in a little bit of a different way, as part of my spiritual routines, part of my spiritual rituals. And I talk about this on my spiritual vision board challenge. I have a challenge. If you haven't done that, I'll leave it in the cards and in the description. This spiritual journal with me is a follow-on from that. So gratitude is every single area of my life. My contribution, which I talk about on a Monday, contribution freedom, how I want to contribute in my light work and my lifestyle. So I say thank you. I am happy and grateful and appreciate whatever that is, that I can think of on a daily basis. So I'll think of past things, I'll think of present things, and I'll think of things that I want to predict in the future, meaning like a thanks in advance. Health freedom I talk about on a Tuesday. So I'll say I'm happy and I'm grateful and I appreciate things about my health. Wednesday is emotional freedom frequency on the SoulLegacyTV. TV. So again, I'll say I'm happy and I'm grateful and appreciate things in the past, even the pains in the past, things that are good, things that are not so good, whatever it is, kind of neutralize it and just being happy and grateful and appreciating it. Things in the present and things that you want to experience. So if you're not in that soul flow as much as you'd like to be, then just setting that intention. Environmental freedom is on a Thursday. Again, I'm happy and grateful and appreciate things in the past, environments in the past. I've been homeless. I've been in some situations, like not great places. I've been homeless 2 or 3 times in my life. I think it's 3. 1, 2, 3 times in my life. Happy and grateful for all of it. Relationship freedom is on a, I'm seeing all the numbers as I'm recording, as it's live, but happy and grateful for the relationships, whether they've been great, whether they've not been great, for the great bits, for the not so great bits, for the contrast, the rockets of desire, and the past, present, and the things that you want to manifest. And then spiritual things on a Saturday, which is today. And then for your finances, past, present, predicted. You're happy and grateful and appreciate. Let me know how that goes for you. Try it on for a week or so. Let me know how you feel about it. And if you do gratitude, it's beautiful. And I have a little gratitude stone or rock little stone, heart stone, that my daughter actually gave me years ago. I talk about, I acknowledge actually the chakras, which I'll share with you. It's amethyst today, is the crystal that I was meditating on. And I talk about the chakra, which is, chakra is the third eye healing Saturday. According to Robin Knott, my lead soul guided instructor for Energy Healing TV and podcast. And the third eye healing is about trust, intuition, and spirituality. So I'll bring that in every single day on the SoulLegacyTV. I acknowledge that the chakras, each of the 7 chakras that are most popular to mention. And Robin Knott has a 7 days to unblock your chakras. And that energy, spiritually, we say, oh, we're energy, nothing is in physical form. But then sometimes we forget to actually move in the world as energy as well. I know we have that human experience, but still. And then the cards I'll pull at the end, and I want to share a quote with you at the end as well. So let's go for vision. So what is your vision for your spirituality? I actually read a book as well. I don't have the book written. I don't have the book written. The book was called The Untethered Soul. Let me know if you've heard of it. I don't know if I wrote it. It's by Michael Singer. If I wrote it last week. Didn't actually write down the title. Yeah, the book is called Untethered Soul. Let me know what you consider, how you went through your spiritual awakening, how that was triggered. There's a lot of people who go through a lot of different things in their dark night of the soul, in the spiritual awakening story. I've seen a lot of spiritual awakening stories on the YouTube channel, and I was prompted to do this whole series by having a conversation with, I think it was somebody who'd gone through my YouTube challenge, who was introduced to me, and she said, I'd love to share, you know, my spiritual awakening story, and so many people on YouTube have really helped me. I'd love to give back in that way. And I said, that's a really great idea. And we were going to do it as a project built on the 444s, and that didn't happen, but I had it in my mind to do that. And I feel like YouTube is the place to go when you Google in what is actually happening to me, what is going on. And so the spiritual awakening can happen through lots of different avenues. And when we think about our purpose in life, you might think of a job or career that you're just not happy with. Let me know what your story is, where it's kind of seeded from. Was it a health issue? Just looking at life differently. Was it an emotional thing? For me, grief was huge. Loss, environment. I was homeless. That kind of makes you really like humble, and like losing everything. Got an itchy back. Losing everything just makes you see the world in a different way. Losing people, relationships again, like going through the relationships that I have, my soulmate, my twin flame, my false twin flame, and hopefully again my soulmate. Those relationships just make you super aware, like lots of different relationships. Relationship with yourself and finances. I was bankrupt. There's pointless. And I will share in my co-author book series my spiritual awakening stories. I've had multiple spiritual awakening and going on my spiritual ascension journey and alchemizing. I talk about spiritual alchemy, which just for me means how I've traveled and grown, and how I can now package up what I've learned, turning my core wounds into the wisdom that I share, and package it up and gift it to somebody else, just pass it on. So I love that. So let me know what vision you have in your life, and do you have people around you who get it and get you? Part of the Spiritual Biz YouTubers Network was having a space. That's my vision for my light work, to have that space where we can gather and we can have a conversation, and we can talk, and we can finish each other's sentences, have soul family, Just, I love that. That was my vision, and I've stuck to it. I followed through on it, and doing part of the spiritual journal with me, and spiritual journaling, and having those rituals and routines support me in my vision. I talk about values. I haven't written down my North Star values actually, for spirituality, but most of my values are the same: fun, integrity, just listening to that guidance. Um, Part of my spiritual journey and that connection to myself is I rate my connection that I feel, from a 1 to 11. We don't get a 0 because we're grieving, but 1 to 11, 11 being really connected to your higher self and looking at the world through your soul awareness, with the lens of your soul, not being pushed and pulled so much by what is happening in your life. And so for me, out of a 1 and 11, I'm definitely 11. I'm high vibing, and I want to help you and support you in raising your vibrational frequency, because that's what we're here for, right? So the book that I listened to today was Untethered Soul, and I often think of, so I often think of the way that I want to live my life in a spiritual way on a day-to-day basis. So I talk about intentional living and setting those soul intentions and expressing that. So I talk about how you launch your day, lead your day, and leave your day. And that makes up your legacy, your soul legacy. Um, and so I've done a meditation today. I've walked out in nature, and every time I walk out in nature, I listen to something. It might be music, I might be dancing down the street sometimes, but oftentimes I listen to a book every single day based on the area that I want to share on the SoulLegacyTV, which fuels my mind, fuels my soul. It was the Untethered Soul, and so the title was, I listened to 2 chapters. Infinite energy, which just means that bringing that source of energy within you, not the food that you eat, not what fuels you physically, like sleep and stuff, like that energy. Sometimes we feel lethargic, we're not full of energy or anything like that, and then depending on our life circumstances, and we might be like, oh, I'm really tired. But then he says, Michael Singer is the author, he says, when something happens, like somebody rings you that you're really excited about and you can't wait to see, you jump up, do all of your cleaning in the house, and you're ready and waiting for that person, like full of beans kind of thing. You can draw on energy that is inside of you, and it's always inside of you. It's unlimited and infinite. So let me know how you feel. Are you full of energy? I'm a very high vibe person, and he said when you remember that and you're aware of that, you can draw on that energy at any point. And I love that. And I think because it's spiritual freedom Saturday, just remembering that, when we're pushed and pulled by the humanness and feeling really low vibe, we can actually decide to vibe higher. And my back is really itching today. I'm sat back on the cushion. So the second chapter that I listened to was absolutely beautiful, and I need to listen to them both again, because I was just like, oh wow, when you listen to something and it's in divine time. So the second chapter that I listened to is, I think it's chapter 6 in the Untethered Soul book. It was about the secrets of the spiritual heart. I think that's what it was called, the secrets of the spiritual heart. Oh, and I don't know if you had energy on that, but basically is saying that obviously your heart center. So Robin Knott would love this of the energy healing school, because she talks about chakras every single day in her energy healing lifestyle. And he said that heart space, your chakra, that energy center is basically the life force, right? We know that love, right? However, not everybody has their heart open. And he says when you close your heart, you're just closing yourself off. So just learning to always have your heart open no matter what happens in life. And I was saying that to someone today, like having your heart open, and this is where I got it from. And you know, when you listen to something and you think, yeah, that sounds like a good idea, but then it's like kind of doesn't really, it resonates, but it kind of doesn't sit in. You don't practice what you preach and don't walk it up. And I was like, wow, I've come such a long way. I just wanted to acknowledge myself, like how far I'd come by listening to my heart. So if you don't know, I dedicate my work to my son who made his transition almost 7 years ago this month. And it was crazy. It was very sudden. He got knocked off his motorbike 12 days before his 20th birthday. I'm now a co-author of a book. Hopefully it will be a bestseller called The Secret Child Life After Loss. So we're in the middle of a launch for that. And I realized I wrote about in that book just the synchronicities, the signs, and that we are souls having a human experience, right? And that despite everything, obviously that was one of my spiritual awakenings, like harsh, but true. Still, I left my heart is still open, and there's not anything on this planet that can touch my heart in that way or close my heart. If my heart is still open, after that there's nothing, there's no life experience. So sometimes when we think, T. Harv Eker talks about this when he says, you know, when you have a problem, that when you're not the best version of you, like say you're a level, I don't know, 3 version of you, what between a 1 and a 10, and you've got a level 5 problem, it feels like it's a weight on you. And then when you move up to be like a level 8 version of you, you raise your vibration and you clear stuff, that level 5 problem, you're looking down on it, and it almost like looking at it from the lens of your soul, right? It's not a problem anymore. It's just not even. And when you're a level 10, it's just like it's not even registering. So Michael Singer was saying about keeping your heart open, and what makes people's heart close is having impressions on your heart, like negative impressions on your heart, negative experiences that just build up and build up. And not all experiences that you experience are held in that energy. A lot of things just pass through us. Some things are held in your energy field in that center, which make you close your heart. And the more it called it, something scarism. Oh, do you know what? I wanted to remember the name. I should have wrote it down. But he says a certain word of having do you know, it may come to me. Of having like scars basically on your heart, experiences that you haven't released, processed, and let go. And he used an example of a guy breaking up with a girl that had a car of a certain type. And seeing this car and seeing 2 people in the car being cheated on or something like that, and it triggering, and like loads of cars can go back, and then so like months after, loads of cars can go down the street and you're just observing, experiencing life, and all of a sudden something else comes and it reminds that person of what had happened, and they're triggered, and now they're not experiencing life to the fullest, their heart's closed, and their mind is just altered by and just obsessive with this thing. And then, you know, stuff clears. Then 5 years later, happy in different situation, see again a similar car, not even exactly identical, could even be not even a blue one that it was, a black one. And that those same emotions that were not processed, it's still there, impressed in the heart space, being brought up again and again. Can you think of anything that you have in your world? And he said, and that builds up and that can cause feelings of depression. And so Robin Nutt of the Energy Healing TV podcast and the Energy Healing School helps you to release those traumas and those blocks. And I love this even more. And I say about the chakras and the crystals and all of the things. And I just and Robin talks about stress management and different things, because there's so many reasons why we could close our heart, whether it's something that, you know, if you think about your light work and your lifestyle, whether it's fear, emotions, whether it's something to do with your health, whatever, relationships. I was on I was in Messenger earlier, just messaging out about the book and stuff and the book launch, and just sharing that with a few people. I'm not on the Facebook platform. I don't resonate with it, so I'm just like, you know, just sharing out a little bit, and just honouring and acknowledging the book and the process of other parents, you know, who've experienced those losses as well. And a lady who was in my soul tribe um, said, you know, you've not been on the platform. I'm like, no, I don't really resonate with it. It's like, okay, what's wrong? It's like, that's my vision of being true to me, and what feels good to me spiritually, what feels good, a good energy, a good environment. Spirituality goes for me through that guidance. I'm guided by my soul. I'm nudged, and I was just nudged to come off. And she's like, I feel that sense of, you know, you must have depression. Like, are you depressed? And I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm as happy as can be. So if you watch this, I'm happy. And I said, you know, come over to the YouTube channel, because I was on Facebook and I did close to 200 lives and people have missed them. And I'm like, nah, I'm over on YouTube. Um, and she said to me, you know, what about your husband? It wasn't my husband, in twin flame union publicly, blessed, very, very blessed. And I said, you know, we're not together. And she said, oh, wow, you know, that's why I haven't put my stuff on Facebook, because it is what it is. And I'm like, I'm good with that. I'm good with sharing. And I think that, you know, sometimes if I chose to leave that union because it was complete, the cycle was complete after nearly 4 years, and it felt amazing to complete it, to acknowledge that it's completed rather than hanging on to it, trying to make it something that it actually isn't. And it was what it was. And I was really happy, really, really, really happy to be in that. And I'm really, really happy, equally as happy to not be in that. I'm done with it. It's done. And so what made me think of having my heart open was doing the spiritual dating TV, Awakened Soulmates, Marriage TV. And so I know that I want to be in that soulmate relationship and be married. And it's like, he's not my husband, but I'm attracting my husband kind of thing. And, you know, having my heart open was easy because I was whole and complete. People say, you know, oh, you complete me, and then they say nowadays, like, nah, you've got to be whole before you know, you be with somebody. You've got to be at the vibration, the person that you want to attract, and all the things, and then go to pieces when that person's not there anymore. And it's like, I don't think that's really the idea. I think to acknowledge that we have that soul to soul connection with someone. And people say, are you really resilient? You know, when you have a loss such as I have, then you realize that your souls, I was there when my dad made his transition, 10 days after my granddaughter was born, after my son's daughter was born. You put things into perspective spiritually. If I hadn't been on the spiritual path and the spiritual journey that I've been on, then I would not be literally standing. But I practice what I preach in the spiritual journal, the journal with me, by having a conversation with myself. I don't need to be down. I don't need to be depressed. It takes healing, it takes processing, it takes seeing like where the things that I didn't want anymore and the things that I do want, that launches rockets of desire, acknowledging the good times, but acknowledging actually these are the things that I would like to have, the things that were missing. And knowing that it all was for me, it was all to support me, it was all to support him. And I'm really, really grateful for that. And I was quite shocked actually that somebody would expect me to be depressed, but I think that people do. It's kind of the norm. But when you do go for that spiritual awakening, or you on that spiritual ascension, and or even if you've just alchemized stuff, it feels very different. Looking at the world through the lens of your soul feels very different, I say. Let me know what you think. So I'm going to pull the 2 cards in a second. I'm going to do the vibrational money voucher. This is a quote, sorry, that I got from my Momentum app. I love the Momentum app. On my laptop, on my Mac, when I go to work, I do, I always see a quote. It kind of just motivates me for the day. And this quote is from Maya Angelou. Nothing can dim the light which shines from within. Nothing can dim the light that shines from within. So if you ignite that light that is from within, nothing can dim your light. And that's what Michael Singer says with opening your heart. No matter what goes on, you open your heart, and then you get to witness and observe life in a very, very different way. I love it. So I've got 2 cards. I want to say that this spiritual journal, my spiritual journal, and my rituals and my routines, part of me raising my vibration and healing my relationship with money is giving a money voucher. So this Soul Legacy journal gives you £1,000, dollars or euros every single day to spend on your spiritual vision board. So if you haven't done the spiritual vision board challenge, again, I'll leave it in the cards and in the description. A vision board for all of the experiences that you want to have in your light work, for your health, whether that's a trainer, whether you want to do ads, whether you want to get an assistant, whether you want to buy some software, whatever it is, for emotions, whether you want to get a counselor, whether you want to get, I don't know, whatever, I don't know, a nanny to help with the kids, whatever, cleaner, chef, for your environment, buy a home, a car, or whatever, go on a trip, and for your environment, go on date nights for your relationships, I don't know, whatever it is, saving, whatever. So not savings. So whatever you want to experience over this next year, chances are some of it's going to cost money. Chances are that some of you might not have the money right at hand. So Robin Knott talks about doing this vibrational money voucher and the soul income game. I call it Bank 50k in 50 days. And Robin has a 5-day money blocks clearing challenge. So if you're having problems even thinking like, why would I spend money every single day? It's to clear that energy and to come back to the spiritual energy of money, right? So we're talking about money and money Reiki and doing a money Reiki practitioner's course and different things, just really healing our relationship with money. Because what I realize is, as light workers, if we do not heal our relationship with money, there's a lot of people doing a lot of things in the world, and we are vibrating at a lower frequency, just swimming around in the world and letting people push and pull us who have more of an influence with that money. So if you want to get out there, put your gifts out there, one of the ways to do it, and do it on YouTube, is to run ads. Like I want to put a lot of money into the YouTube ad. You either put time or you put money into it, and that helps you reach more people. That's just one way, using it for good. So this vibrational money voucher, you tithe 10%. So that's $100. I tithe £100 to Cruise Bereavement Care. That's a worthy cause for me. I had a volunteer come when my son passed to support me, sit on my couch with me for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. So that's why I put that to. And then the rest of it, you get to spend it on the day. If something comes up that you want to spend the money on, then spend it. Like, not bills and not saving. You don't put it into a savings, but you can carry it over to the next day. So essentially you'll have $900 or pounds or euros a day, and you can spend it on your vision board to be in vibrational harmony, right? To heal your relationship with money. You can carry it over to Sunday. This Bank 50k in 50 days. I challenge you to do it for 50 days. I will do it every single day. And then on Sunday, you just spend it. So it's $7,000 in a week, right? So it's $6,300. I will spend on a Sunday, and I will share with you what I do for Financial Freedom Sunday, right? So whether it's a holiday, last week I spent it on a holiday, and then the day after I actually got offered to go to Trinidad for free, just flights. I'm like, yay, how cool. Let me know if you try this Soul Income game. It was inspired by Abraham and Esther Hicks, their prosperity game, where they give you 1,000 each day, and then they keep adding 1,000. So on the first day it'd be 1,000, on the fifth day it'd be 5,000, and on the 50th day it'd be 50,000. And if you did it for a year, you spend 66 million. That was a lot for me. There's also a prosperity consciousness audible book that I listened to. I listened to it from when it was in tapes by Frederick Lerman. Frederick Lerman. And he does the same thing. He says, spend £1,000 or dollars. He says dollars for 2 years, 9 months, and that will actually be $1 million. How cool is that? So that is the Soul Legacy Journal and my spiritual awakening routines and rituals. And so these are the 2 cards. Usually I pull 1 card. Last week I got 2 cards as well. I can't remember when. But this is Kalima, Facing Fear. Major spiritual changes are unfolding. This is your chance to soar. So I pull these cards every single day. This is your chance to soar. It's my chance to soar, your chance to soar. What is for me can be for you if it resonates. If it's not, take what you need and leave the rest. But I believe that it's for someone else. It's not just for me. I'm going to read the meaning of this one. And then the next one is the White Eagle. And it is ancestor spirit. Connect to your lineage. A family wound or pattern can be healed now. That is huge. Every day I pull a card after my meditation. I did this before my meditation actually, which is pretty cool. So let me look at Kalima or Kalim. I think so. I didn't put it in there, so let me see. It's page 56 of Keepers of the Light by Kyle Gray. So I appreciate Kyle Gray for doing these cards. So again, this is Facing Fear. Can you see what's on there? On the card? Okay. So it says Kalima or Kalima, I don't know. Kalima? Kali? I don't know. In the Hindu religion, might be Kalima. It probably is Kalima, actually. In the Hindu goddess, is the Hindu goddess of death and rebirth. She brings all cycles to the end so we can experience transformation. Have you had any cycles in your life that are like, yeah, coming to an end? So I talked about my twin flame union and that cycle coming to an end. There's certain things in my business, in my life, things coming to that end. So it really is resonating with me. Let me know if it resonates with you. She is a strong, fierce, and fiery, powerful image of divine feminine. So for me, I've been working on bringing more of that divine feminine energy. I'm mostly in my masculine, not like it just is. I feel comfortable in both, but I am. So that's really nice to sit in that space. Many have been, especially in a relationship as well. In my twin flame union, he was more in his feminine energy and I was more in my masculine. And I was like, dude, that's not working for me. I want to be sitting in more of my feminine again. Many have been intimidated by her, but she is the mother energy and therefore completely loving. She's like a fierce mother protecting her child from harm. Damn straight. She has a dark energy like the night sky, but it consumes fear and leaves only love. I was talking about fear yesterday with someone, and I'm potentially going through the motions to meet someone and date and stuff, and we were talking about fear. Nothing's concrete, nothing's what have you, but it's really relevant for me. So is any fear coming up for you in any area of your life? It wasn't for me, so for the other person. She is the twin flame of God Shiva and has even been known to slay his ego so that he can reveal his true loving self. Is very timely for me. Extended message. This is a time when you are able to look fear in the eye and move away from it. So I was talking about how much fear that I had overcome. I had a fear of failure, fear of success, and fear of selling in my spiritual business. Fear of getting on camera, not liking it. This is live on the Soul Legacy TV, showing my spiritual routine, sharing my spiritual rituals, and inviting you to do your spiritual journal with me. I've done my spiritual journal and decided I'm going to share every single day on the Soul Legacy TV. It's like, okay, I'll do that then. So it just is what it is. Move away from that fear. Fear is just energy, and energy can be changed, right? This can be an intense experience because the human self is so conditioned that it may be used to operating with fear present. It may be used to operating with fear present. When the fear is gone, it may feel as though an emptiness is there. That's it. Sometimes it's like, well, how is that fear serving you? When you remove stuff, it's like, well, what's there now, right? You are being filled. Hang on. An emptiness is there, but this is the space for love and miracles to enter. You are being filled with the courage of spirit now so that you can move from this phase of your life to the next. Trust the process and call in Kalima, to help you release your fear and step into a space that's strong, focused, and courageous. My energy just moved a lot. Awesome! Do you love that? That's pretty cool. Spiritual freedom. So we're blessed because we've got two: the white eagle, ancestor spirit. Right. So I've just we're published, but it's on pre-order. The Secret Child Life After Loss, and there's a lot of ancestral stuff. There's a lot of absence with male figures, father figures in my lineage, so that just comes to mind. Connect to your lineage. A family wound or pattern can be healed now. Good. Great. White Eagle, let me see what page that is, and I will look that up. 108. Did I read this morning? I think I did. Woo. I don't know if I did. Yeah, I did. Okay, White Eagle is a Native American shaman who is dedicated to honoring our spiritual heritage. He is a world-renowned spiritual guide who has been particularly cherished by mediums all over the world. You guys probably know this more than I do, but I'm just called to share. He first spoke through a medium called Grace Cook in the early 20th century. He is the guide who helps create clear channels in our bloodline and our spiritual lineage so we can access the heart of the creator. Do you see how powerful that is? The heart. Like, I listen to the untethered soul relating to the heart. I love it. And so what did I say? Oh, it was third eye. Okay, cool. He also helps us to move into sacred ceremony where we can hold space to honor a change, transition, celebration, or anything else that deserves time. I love that. He is wonderful for clearing space, and we can call on him for help in forging spiritual connections. Yay! Extended message. Take some time to honor just how far you have come. That's for you. Take some time to honor just how far you've come. Absolutely. Recognizing through ceremony and ritual the shifts in your awareness, healing, and journey really shows you to move into a state of grace and gratitude. Can I get an amen? I'll talk about moving with showing up, speaking out, and serving deep with ease, grace, and flow. You have or have recently had an opportunity to heal an old family wound or pattern. It's important to connect with your family in spirit so that you can set a new energy of love in place. I will be having a reading this next month. White Eagle is bringing your ancestors through to you and allowing you to know that they are happy and well. That's like big. I would have been in tears reading that. He is, but my heart is open. He is sounding his sacred drum to clear your spirit, to clear that energy, that spirit energy in my heart chakra. So hopefully you've enjoyed this episode of the Soul Legacy TV and the Spiritual Journal with me and Spiritual Freedom Saturday. And so have you connected with that real spiritual side of yourself and brought it into every single area in your life, into your light work, into your lifestyle, into your health, into your emotions, into just clearing that energy, into your environment? What do you have around you that enhances your spiritual rituals and routines? What do you do on a daily, weekly, monthly basis? Into your relationships, connecting soul to soul, spirituality into your spirituality. Just, we know that we are souls having a human experience. And into your money, doing the soul income gain, the bank 50k in 50 days, is bringing spiritual energy into your money. So that is it from your soul sister Iona. I'm signing off. I love you. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. Again, if you're watching in the Soul Legacy Academy, welcome, and come and jump on the 7 Freedoms frequency monthly calls. I would love to see you on there. And if you haven't got my free chapter for the Spiritual Biz YouTubers, a soul guided influencers compass to leveraging your light work and lifestyle on YouTube, then I will leave a free chapter to my book that I'm writing. It also comes with a free chapter, free VIP day, where I support you in starting, structuring and growing your Spiritual Biz YouTube channel and launching your own book. How exciting. I love you. I'll speak to you soon. Take care.